Start to notice the buildings on the left. That's Souq Waqif, the standing market, and that's where we're going to have our final stop. You can see not a whole lot of activity right now. As we come up, you notice two buildings on AJ's side, on the driver's side. One of them is a cream building with green columns. That's our old Amiri Diwan. And then there's another one right beside it with the big purple and white flag on top of it. That's our new Amiri Diwan. So the Amiri Diwan, the building itself, is essentially like our parliament or our White House. It's the seat of government, and it's where the ruler, the Emir, that's where he has his offices and laws are and decisions are made. So the Emir is kind of like, I don't know, not kind of, he is the ruler. Everyone in this area has one. We were an emirate, that's why it's called an Emir. Saudi Arabia, they have a king. Oman, they have a sultan. It's essentially our ruler. Now we're we are a hereditary monarchy. So we've had the same ruler in the country since the 1700s. Our ruler, his name is Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. And again, the Al Thani family's been ruling this country since the 1700s. Now, as we look over on the right-hand side, we might start to notice a little small island with a white thing in the center of it. It's going to move and change shape. So this is Palm Tree Island. It used to be Palm Tree Island. It's a natural sand collection that exists out in the Corniche. The Corniche is a 7-kilometer bay area that we have on our right-hand side. The white symbol that you can see, this is the symbol for the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup 2022. As we go along the Corniche and you notice it, it's going to start to change shape. Originally, when we looked, it looked like an infinity sign or the number 8. That's the number of stadiums that we have here from the World Cup. Now, as we go around, it's going to start to take on the look of a dugong or a sea cow. So it's my understanding outside of Australia, we've got the largest dugong collection in the south. The building that's behind it, the triangle building with the round circular windows, the downtown Doha. So the buildings that we can see on our left-hand side, what are they? Really and truly, they're office spaces, right? We don't have a lot of housing, a lot of apartments down in this area. We have more corporate offices, headquarters, and just really and truly office space. Now, one of the iconic buildings that we have on the skyline, it's coming up, it's going to be on the driver's side. You're going to notice a small, round, looks like a football maybe building. That's not the building I want to talk about. It's the one immediately beside it. It's a tall building, maybe looks like a cucumber with a spire on top. Now you can see it on the left-hand side. This is the Doha French architect Jean Nouvel. And if you notice that pattern, the Mershon, it's also a privacy, but it's also helping to keep the temperatures down a little bit in the summer months. Now, the building that we can see on our right-hand side, it looks like an Aztec pyramid, is one of the largest hotels that we have in the country, but it's also the oldest international hotel that we have, Qatar. The temperature here at this time of year is going to go down to about 7 degrees centigrade or about 42 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's the low temperatures that we get. And then during the daytime, the high temperatures will take us only to maybe 18 degrees centigrade, 72, 75 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's much, much cooler. And when the temperature drops down that cold, able to get home one night because the floodwaters were so great. So that was about 2 weeks ago. So why does it flood? A couple of reasons. Like I said, we're in a desert. So normally we've got the hard packed dirt, parched dirt. Let me take a pause in the minute of my weather to let you know about the building we can see to the right-hand driver's side. This is City Center Doha. So City Center is one of our over 100 malls that we have in the country. And again, when I came, this is the 4th oldest mall in the whole country. It's got over 300 stores in it. So when I came, it was just the City Center Mall, and it didn't have the 2 high-rise buildings that we can see on either side of it. Those are a recent addition. So I did say over 100 malls. I'll explain about why we have all those malls in just a little bit. Getting back to the weather, well, I mean, the weather would kind of make sense. So in the summertime, it's very, very hot here. upwards of 100 degrees. So in the summertime, Fahrenheit, it gets up to about 45 degrees centigrade with a humidity level of, we'll say 87 to 92% with 0% chance of rain. The weather is disrespectful, in my opinion. And it doesn't matter, it would depend. It's nothing hard and fast. They would pull up the rock or whatever they were dragging, and they would see if there were scratches on it. If there were scratches on it, they knew they were touristy stores that are open, so we'll be able to get some, any souvenirs if you want to get them. A couple of the coffee shops are open if you want to get a snack or coffee. Those will be open. But, someone asked me now even about the metro. Why is the metro closed? In most places, a metro would be open. Start to pick up. Families will go out, especially this time of year, along the Corniche. We would see more picnics taking place, and families together, either your actual family, husband, wife, children, or your, if you're here without your family, it would be your work family. So I think it's kind of the same no matter where you look at it. Let's talk a little bit about clothing. So maybe you've noticed some Qataris in the airport, people in the national dress. We'll talk about the men first. National dress. Gentlemen, their national dress, it's called a thobe. It looks like a very long white dress shirt. Underneath that long white dress shirt, they wear a cotton pant and a cotton shirt underneath it. So they're very comfortable. I call them man jammies. I'm sure that's not their official name, but they're very, very comfortable. A 3/4 length pant and a white shirt underneath it. The head covering that they wear over their scarf, over their heads, you might notice some are red and white check, some are white, some maybe are brown. What's the difference? Why are they like that? Those are called a gutra. And again, in different countries, it might be known something different. In Kuwait, it's called a dish dash. Here we call it a gutra. So why is it red and white checked or white checked? Really, it's about fashion sense, right? So here in Qatar, generally the gentleman would wear a red and white checkered pattern only in the winter time because it's a heavier fabric. The white one is a light cotton. It's be used exclusive in the summertime, and then the darker colored one, it's called a shawl. And we do apply. Now, the ladies, what is it that the ladies wear? So the ladies wear a black outer covering, and it's called an abaya. Why is it called? So he says to his friend, oh man, you gotta help me out. I got all this black fabric. No one is gonna buy an abaya. His friend was a poet. He said, can you please write me a poem? Something that's going to say that, black first marketing campaign, I think, ever. So the women, they fell in love with it, and then they said, you know what, we want to wear black. Then black, it was because, well, my mother wore black, my grandmother wore black. So jump ahead to today, it's always black. Now, it's a cultural thing, it's not a religious thing. So for religion, all they have to do is cover their head. They do not need to cover their bodies, and they certainly don't need to do so. We are here at our third and last stop. This is the Souq Waqif, the standing market. So now you know two more words in Arabic. Souq means market, Waqif means standing. It's the standing market. Again, the building we can see on the right side. This is the old Amiri Diwan. We can see it with the green columns. Now, again, save anything that you don't need, leave on the bus. Otherwise, we'll get museums, we move on to different things. So as we come down here, you notice the low-rise buildings on the door side, on my side. I'm over on this side. This is the Shark Hotel. It's for me, it's always just going to be the Shark Hotel. However, it is owned by the Ritz-Carlton, so now it's the Shark Ritz-Carlton. Living here 20 years, I've seen a whole lot of changes. As we come around this turn, everyone needs to look over to the door side, to AJ's side, the driver's side, and we're going to notice a building that looks like it's a bunch of collected discs or UFOs. It looks like a bunch of UFOs crashed over here. Now this is our National Museum. So everyone take a picture of it because it's really, really cool and interesting. It's our National Museum of Qatar. French architect Jean Nouvel, and it's built to look like a desert rose. So a desert rose is a natural crystalline formation that is going to happen anywhere you have the elements. Now, if you look through the middle where the flag is, it sits around our one of our old national palaces. This is the palace of Sheikh Abdullah bin Jassim Al Thani, the founder's son. It's the site of our original museum, our original house of government. Now, fun fact, did you count the discs? You didn't know there was going to be a quiz. There's a quiz. The museum is made up of 539 individual discs, and they range 30 different sizes, we'll call diameters. So we can tell the story of Qatar through things in the National Museum. Now, here we are over on the door side. You have a few minutes to count the flags. Everyone count them. And then try to find your country's flags. Were you able to find it? Did anyone count them? So the story continues. So IMP was not interested in doing the project at the time. When he finally kind of found his inspiration in the Tulum Mosque in Cairo, Egypt, he said, okay, fine, I'll do it. So he came back, and the Father Emir said, great, we're on the Corniche, pick a place, any place that you want to use for this museum. IMP said, I don't want any of those locations. I want you to build me an island. Why not? The Father Emir said, okay, it's easy enough to fill in the sea. We'll go ahead and build you an island. So they built him an island about 60 meters off the coastline of Doha, and he put the museum. So in the museum, you'd be able to see Islam's contribution to the arts and to the sciences from, we'll say, the 7th century up to the 19th century. We're able to see it over on our right-hand side. You know, the other thing that he said was, I want to have big, beautiful palm trees lining the area. Now, palm trees don't really grow that big, so that was the only thing that the Father Emir had a little bit of a problem with. But because we really and truly make everything happen here in Qatar, jump ahead, if we look over to the right-hand side, you can see all of the beautiful big palm trees that are lining the entranceway. You also are going to notice a bunch of wooden truly has changed in 20 years since I've been here. And then on the door side, you can also have a beautiful, gorgeous view of the Museum of Islamic Art, and then the dhow boats that are going to be over on our left. AJ is our multifaceted approach. On our right-hand side, we've got Qatari Beach. It's one of the many beaches that we have here. It is a public beach, so here we would want to be a little bit more conservatively dressed. We can see the dhow harbors. Also coming up on the driver's side, in just a minute, you're going to notice a painting of a huge whale shark. I do not know what the whale shark has to do with the planetarium, but it is, in fact, our planetarium where you would be able to go learn about space, the sciences, those type of things. We also have the very famous Karak and Chapati. It's one of, it's open. If anybody wants a snack, we can do it at Karak and Chapati. Otherwise, we can do it at Souq Waqif. Karak and Chapati is famous. It's a flatbread, is the chapati, and the karak is like a tea, a milky, sugary tea. Now, we're here at our next stop. This is the Blue Mosque. Let me check to see if it's open, but otherwise we're going to stop. We're going to get off here. We're going to have the ability to use